Sitaram and Namaste, everyone. Once again, we welcome you this morning to our regular Sunday morning service. And for those of you who are new and joining us, we welcome you as well. This morning, as we have completed puja onto the lingam and we've done meditation, before we begin, we'll be doing Krishna prayer, and we ask the group to once again join with us.
अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरं श्रीधरं माधवं जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे अच्युतं केशवं सत्यमाधवं श्रीधरं राधिकाराधितम् इन्द्रिरामन्दिरं चेतसा सुन्दरं देवकी नन्दनं नन्दजं सन्निधे विष्णवे जिष्णवे शङ्किनी चक्रिणी रुक्मिणी रागिनी जानकी जानकी अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरं वासुदेवं हरं.
Sitaram and Namaste once again to everyone. Just a little side note, you can notice this morning that we're dependent so much on technology this morning that we've forgotten the prayers that we do know by head, but now we become so dependent on technology. So technology is a good thing and not such a good thing sometimes. I also have another side note. Yesterday, I realized how important technology is. I was at CNE and my phone was dead and I couldn't get hold of my sisters. I couldn't call anybody, and I thought, well, how did people survive before technology? How did they do it? So we depend on it very much, but sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not such a good thing. Like right now. This morning, first of all, I have a question to ask. How many of you are parents who have children who are going back to school today? Raise your hands. How many of you have parents whose children are going back to school this week? Okay. And many of you are parents, they're seniors, you're all parents of children who have gone to school, gone to university, your children are grown up now. And how many of you are parents who have young children who haven't started school yet? Anybody here who has a young child who hasn't started school yet but will be soon? I see a couple of young parents here too. So this morning, as you know, all of you, this is the last official weekend of summer for all of our students and parents. Now it's a mixed bag of feelings. Parents are very elated because they finally get their children back to school. They don't have to worry about keeping them entertained. They don't have to worry about making them meals. They don't have to worry about hearing them say, "I'm bored, Mom. I'm bored, Dad. What are we doing today?" So parents are very happy to see their children go off. Children, not so happy. My son is not very happy. He's counting down the days, and every day I tell him that it's one more day or 2 more days. He's not very happy about that answer. So parents have mixed feelings. Children have mixed feelings. Some students are excited. I'm a teacher. I'm excited and not so excited too. So I have a mixed feeling as well. I'm looking forward to getting back into my classroom and meeting my new students, seeing what they're like, getting the year on the go. And I'm also sad because I've gotten used to 2 months of vacation and relaxing and just, being very calm and not having to rush, the stress of life. So as a teacher, I have a mixed feeling as well. But today I want to share with you a prayer. It's a brief prayer, and actually it's a Christian prayer, but I think it's very applicable to all of us today, especially those of us who are parents who are seeing our children off to school. Now, whether they're in primary school, middle school, high school, college, university, or any other kind of academic institution, parents always have a wish for their child. Especially within the South Asian community, we very much put education very high on our list of things, our priorities for our children. Education is very important to us. So when we send our children out to school, we have high expectations for them. We want them to do well. When I was a young student, and I don't think my parents are the only one who was guilty of this, I think every parent is guilty of this. When I came home and I brought a B, my mom and dad would say, what did they say? Where's the A? Where's the A plus? And parents have not changed over time. My parents were like that. I'm sure their parents were like that. I'm sure parents before were like that. They always wanted you to excel. And today as a teacher, I still have my students say to me, Mrs. Sharma, if I take this report card home, my mom and dad are not going to be very happy because they only want to see A's on this report card. But I always tell my students, it's not the mark on the report card that counts. Actually, now the government has changed the report card. The first report card goes home, and those of you who are parents know this, there's no marks on the report card, the first report card. There's no A, B, C, or D. It actually goes home, and the first report card is all about learning skills, life skills. Why do you think they've changed it? Anybody have an idea why they think the government has changed the first report card to do that? Because in the old days, it was a mark. So let me tell you why. The government has realized, along with teachers, that our young people are going out and they're very excellent at the academics. They're stars in science, stars in math, stars in writing, but they have no social skills. They don't have the skills to go out into the workplace. They don't have the skills to cooperate in a team. They don't have the skills to be inspired and motivated to be organized, to collaborate with others. They're lacking those very basic skills. Now, how are they going to learn that? There's no mark that I can give you for that. So the government has decided, the teachers have decided, the world is changing. It's not just the mark on the report card anymore that matters. It's not that A, B, C, or D. It's actually the skills that that student has. So they could be a C student and they could have amazing skills and they'll go into an interview and they will kill it. And they will get the job. And somebody who is a high academic, how many of you who've all been to school have met teachers who were brilliant, intelligent, intellectual individuals, but they couldn't teach? You couldn't understand what they were saying. I'm not saying I'm one of those highly intellectual individuals, but I'm saying that in university and in college or any high school level, you find that there are teachers who are so super brilliant, but when they tried to teach to you, you couldn't get it. You couldn't understand. It's because they didn't have that skill, that ability to communicate their message in a simple way that you can understand. So as parents, as adults, as children, there's a lot that we can learn. So today's prayer is called a parent's prayer for students. And it starts off with, Dear Lord, as my children leave for school, I pray that you will keep them in your care. Send your spirit to open their minds to all that is true and beautiful and good. So this parent is not saying, child, I want you to go out there and be the best, be number one in your class. This parent is saying, God, when you send my child off to school, when I send them off in the morning, let them have you with them at all times. Each and every day. Send your Spirit to open their minds to all that is true and beautiful and good. As a parent, unfortunately, we are living in a very scary world. And every day we send our children out, it doesn't matter what age they are. I'm 40 years old and I still think my parents still worry about me every day. Doesn't matter how old you are. They send you out into the world and they know that the world is a scary place. So God, please be with them. Help them, and I love this line, help them to see the gifts and talents you have given them and to use them well. Help them to see the gifts and talents you have given them and use them well. We're reminding our children, we're reminding them each and every day that the gifts that they have inside of them didn't just happen. God gifted us to them. If you have the ability to be a great runner and you're excellent in sports, that's a God gift. If you're an amazing mathematician, that's a God gift. If you're an excellent writer, that's a God gift. So you're reminding your students that when they go out there, those gifts that they have, not to abuse them, to use them. And everybody has different gifts. As parents, we're guilty. We want our child to be a superstar in everything. We want them to be excelling in everything. But we have to realize that every child has a different gift. And as a teacher, I'm reminded every day that every child has a different gift. That I cannot treat all my children in my classroom the same. Help them to grow in knowledge and wisdom. Help them to be kind to others and lead others to be kind to them. Now, in school on the first day, most teachers set up classroom rules with their classes. So we discuss with the class, what do you think are important rules? And the number one rule that students say is treat others the way you want to be treated. So God, when you send our students out, help them to be kind to others. And importantly, lead others to be kind to them. So sometimes our children may go out into the world and unfortunately, again, there are a lot of not so nice things out there that they deal with in the school ground. They deal with bullies, they deal with, people who are not of an open-minded nature. Sometimes they are ridiculed for their culture, their background, their religion, their lack of knowledge, their inability to communicate or to be social. Not every kid is equal. So when they go out there, they're battling all of those demons. And sometimes your kid may not come home or your child may not come home and tell you those things, but that's the reality in the classroom day to day. So we hope and pray that they will be treated with kindness. Give their teachers patience and understanding and help them teach what is just and true. And again, I can only use myself as an example. As a teacher, there are days when I lose my patience. As a parent, there are days you lose your patience. And sometimes we fail to realize that we have to have understanding. We have to realize that our child has potential and every child has their limitations. We can't always be reaching at the heights. We have to help them get there. Nothing is unattainable, but we have to help them get there. If we're constantly beating them down and telling them, why aren't you getting this? Why don't you understand this? Why don't you get this? They're never going to realize their potential. And as teachers, we are guilty of this too. Send your angels to guide and guard my children and to keep them from all harm. In those cartoons, they have those little characters. They have the devil that sits on your one side with the pitchfork, and then you have the angel with the wings sitting on the other side. And Dad has said this many times. We have those two angels sitting on our shoulders all the time. It's the one we choose to listen to is really dependent upon us. So we have the devil in us and we have the angel in us, all of us. Our children have it too. We hope that they have the confidence, the encouragement, the motivation that when they're at school and they're dealing with a situation, that they choose the right angel to guide them. And that's something that, unfortunately, parents, teachers can't teach your children. I have a lot of parents that come in and actually need parenting counseling because they have a really hard time being a parent. I actually wish that there was a job created for me that I could help parents, counsel parents, because I, as a parent, need help. And there are a lot of parents that need help too. But we send our children off to school and we think our teachers are going to fix them. Whatever is wrong with them, they're going to get fixed there at school. I've had my Indian parents come and tell me, Mr. Sharma, you do what you have to do. Don't hold back. But I can't fix your children. That's your job. And it starts here. It starts with this prayer. Open their young hearts to your presence and enfold them in your peace and protection. Open their young hearts to your presence. Again, that's something that a teacher can't teach your children. In the classroom, you have children of all different faiths, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, whatever religion it may be. But one thing I can tell you as a teacher, what I've observed, those children who go to church or go to masjid or go to the gurdwara or go to the mandirs, whatever they do, and they come to school and they have conversations, they talk about their festivals, they talk about their religion, they talk about their celebrations, and they have something about them, they have a conscience. Those children who have God in them and have been learning about it from their parents, grandparents, whatever it is, they have something in them, a conscience. And especially when you listen to little children, like, the grade 1s, the grade 2s, when they have a conversation, and sometimes you'll hear them say, don't do that because you don't know who's watching you. Someone's always watching you. And how do they know that? Because their parents have told them that. That starts with you. Hold them in the palm of your hand. And finally, bring them home safely at day's end. So isn't that, as a parent, all we ask for? We ask for our children. I hope that when you send your children out, you're not telling them, you better go back there and bring me those A's. Krishi, you better go back and bring me those A's this year. No. We want them to do their best. Be their best. And as an Indian community, I can tell you it's very hard for us to let go of that because we have expectations. We have standards. We want our children to be the best. There's nothing wrong with that. They can be. It's how you help them get there. They can't do it on their own. I remember my sisters and I in university, my parents would still be up helping us type our papers, getting it done. They're doing it now. They have 5 children and they still have 3 more to go. And not only my parents, my aunts, I remember Aunt Rahima helping me type because she was a fast typer. And she used to come and help me type my papers to get it off to school in the morning or get it off for the 12 o'clock deadline. So parents, it never stops. And it doesn't matter when they graduate, when they move on in life and they get married, you will always be a parent. And this is the prayer you have for your child each and every day, even if they're not going to school. Whether they're going off to work, whether going off to another country to live, to start a new life, whether they're getting married. This is the prayer you have for your children. You're asking God to hold them in the palm of your hand and bring them home safely at the end of each day. So in my brief message today, I appeal to all parents. When you send your children off to school on Tuesday morning, irrelevant of what age they are, remember this prayer. And if you want a copy of it, I can leave it at the front office. And I think it's a beautiful prayer, something to keep in your diary to kind of look back and remind yourself sometimes as parents. Remind ourselves to be the kind of parent that we want our children to be proud of. We want our children, we want them to be something that we can be proud of. What are we doing that our children can be proud of us? Are we teaching them about God? Are we teaching them to be kind? In these last couple of days, parents have been, at the malls, at the stores, buying running shoes, backpacks, pencils, crayons, everything, getting everything ready for their children. But are they remembering this part? Today, I'm very proud. I can say this today because I'm a mom. Today's Krish's birthday, and today, a lot of kids would have chosen to do a lot of different things on this day. But he told me months ago, Mom, I want to do puja today. Other kids are thinking this is the last weekend of school, back to school. We want to do things. We want to be out there and about. But he insisted that he wanted to do puja this morning. That makes me feel really proud. Because he wants to remember God. So today I feel very honored to share this message with you, not as a teacher, but as a parent. Because it doesn't matter what age our children may be, they always need our guidance. So thank you very much this morning for listening to this very brief message. And again, if you would like a copy of this prayer, will be in the office for you. I'd like to ask Mana to sing a song today just to end off. Today being Krishi's birthday, I think he'd like to hear the Masi sing a song.
Since Krishi, his Isht is Hanuman, so we'll sing a Hanuman bhajan. हे दुख भंजन मारुति नंदन सुन लो मेरी पुकार पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
हे दुख भंजन मारुति नंदन सुन लो मेरी पुकार पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता दुखियों के तुम भाग्य विधाता
अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता
दुखियों के तुम भाग्य विधाता सिया राम के काज सवारे
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 मेरे सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
अपरंपार है शक्ति तुम्हारी तुम पर रीझे अवध बिहारी
अपरंपार है शक्ति तुम्हारी तुम पर रीझे अवध बिहारी
भक्ति भाव से ध्याओ तो है
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 कर दुखों से पार पवन सुत
विनती बारंबार पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
जपो निरंतर नाम तिहारा अब नहीं छोड़ो तेरा द्वारा
जप निरंतर नाम तिहारा अब नहीं छोड़ो तेरा द्वारा
राम भक्त मोहे शरण मिली जे
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 भव सागर से तार पवन सुत
विनती बारंबार पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
हे दुख बंदन मारुति नंदन सुन लो मेरी पुकार पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
पवन सुत विनती बारंबार
Once again, everyone, we welcome you this morning, and we have a few announcements to share with you today. Priti Boj is sponsored by myself and Krish, and also by S. Sarangi and family. Let's give them a big round of applause. And we're celebrating birthdays of Krishi, Alicia, and Neil Sarangi, and Ravi Ramchan. Is that you, Rav? Yes, guys, give them a big round of applause. And we want to remind all of you, not just parents and students, but anyone who like to, adults, if you're going off back to school or doing anything of that nature and you like to come and get Masa these blessings, tomorrow is Saraswati Puja, Monday, September 1st, tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. We're reminding students to bring a book, an empty book, a new book, and a new pencil to be blessed, and it'll be Aarti and Priti Boj. So if you like to join the puja, it's a wonderful way to start off the school year. And as I said, it's not limited just to students of a young age, but it's anyone who's going back to school or is entering into a new field. Our Bal Vihar program will be starting back on September 7th. If you'd like to register for this program, please do so at the office.